Hello guys! Welcome everybody to Mando Monday. This is the series where you guys ask the questions and I, of course, answer them. This can be to do with anything related to Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, CSGO investing, or any current or future update related one. If that's Source 2, an operation, and at this point in time, I think anyone in the community will pretty much take anything that Valve gives us. That being a case, the one-off capsule, and hopefully the real removal very soon. Now, if you guys have any questions regarding any of that we just discussed, maybe something a little more random, something to do with me, the background, maybe a very niche topic in the CSGO community, feel free to leave it down below this comment section or any other one of my videos, Ask Mando, and then ask your question. It's usually easiest and best for me to find it that way. As it goes for this week's Mando Monday, I will say it's the most unique we've seen, I think, so far in the series. We are talking about investments here and there. We'll use examples of certain things. Is Stockholm good? Is it bad? Should you buy now? Same thing goes with Antwerp, even Rio, and you'll see what I mean in the video.
Now, today's video sponsor is, of course, SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly, trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in-game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade.
Now, just a quick little PSA, if you don't care, skip ahead, that's cool. Esports fire, there's CSGO news, crafting alert, and pretty much all you want to know about CSGO skins type of website. They're hosting an awards ceremony for the best skins YouTuber of the year. Now, I luckily have been nominated. Pretty crazy to consider. They're also doing this for streamer and a bunch of other stuff. But if you guys are interested in going to vote, help me try and win, the link will be down in the description below. Our very first question up here is from Sketchy Life, and it is probably one of the longest questions I've ever received in a Mando Monday, but it's extremely important. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but more so brief over it, and of course sum it up for you. Now, he first says, I am very confused about the modern Valve business model. He continues to say it feels like they're just moving on from CSGO and a lot of their IPs in a way, like Left 4 Dead, Half-Life, TF2, and now Counter-Strike, the global offensive side of things. And he says what I think a lot of people need to hear. They're not revisiting Counter-Strike right now, essentially because it's hit peak popularity. We've had the most amount of sales through unboxings and transactions to the market the past year. Player numbers at an all-time high with limited to no updates this past 200 days. Now, he says CS is a very old project for Valve, so I can see the devs getting very sick of working on it. He also says there's a lot less devs working at Valve, which that means CS is also less important because there's minimal employees in the first place as of right now. He also uses Dreams and Nightmares as a great example. It was a planned $1 million competition and it skipped over all the older entries, I would have to assume because Valve was too lazy and probably didn't have the manpower to search through all the older ones. And while that's what's been happening with recent cases, Valve doesn't go to the older skins that people submitted a year for the next case that may come out in 2 weeks. They're going to go to the ones that got submitted 2 weeks ago because they don't want to scroll back and look all the way back from then. Now, he lastly says his hopes and the communities as well is with them taking this time off, not a whole lot of employees working on the game. The past few years, he's hoping that they've been working on Source 2, don't we all? Now, this kind of goes back to the title of today's video, how CSGO is an evergreen game. Now, if you're unsure of what that means, it's essentially, well, that Valve made an evergreen game. They made it so perfect, people are still playing it from an engine from 20 years ago. It's not updated, we get minimal stuff in the game, there's no communication, it's one of the biggest esports out there. Why would you update it? If you want another example, I'll take Lego Star Wars. Lego as a company and as a brand makes sets based around Star Wars. At first, when they adopted it, it was only supposed to be for 3 years because it was so successful and it worked out so well with almost minimal effort, especially nowadays. It's now an evergreen theme. Obviously, nothing lasts forever, but Valve sees CSGO as a passive income source and something that's going to last for the next very long time, at least as it stands right now. Because if this is what happens when nothing is going on, imagine what happens when Source 2 and Operation and all these future new updates come out. Very creative question. I really enjoyed that one. It's just something we don't really see on the channel too much, and having a deep, in-depth conversation about something like that I think is very important, especially for the new goers who don't know why Valve maybe doesn't release stuff like this and so on. Now, our second question up here is from Henry, and he says, ask Mando, if a new update comes out, that being a new case or operation, would it be a good idea to sell my Antwerp capsules? 2,500 as of right now. So if they dip, I could buy them back for cheaper. So typically when an operation comes out, usually what goes down the most immediately is previous cases, especially for older operations, depending on the golds in certain situations, how many there are on the market, and also past previous operation skins. More liquidated skins in general usually go down just because people want to sell those to get the newer items, get stars, unbox the newer skins, and of course stickers. In theory, I think this would work, selling your Antwerp capsules, but one, I wouldn't count on an operation coming out anytime soon. I wouldn't plan anything around that specifically for investments. I saw a lot of people get burned on that this past year with all the BS content surrounding CSGO's next operation, what to do when the skins market market crashes when it comes out. People from the get-go, first of all, were not that stupid. But now with that out there from people like Jesus and just so many other people now know that the skins market is supposedly going to crash. With everyone knowing, I don't know if a whole lot of people are going to sell, especially with the rate things are coming out. Things are becoming more rare, which is why skins are going up so much right now in the first place. Antwerp at this moment in time, I think, is in a really weird spot. Its potential has pretty much just increased more and more each month. Stockholm, I would say, as of right now, probably up until the next 6 or 7 months, until we see some sort of huge hype. Specifically Paris, if these stickers look really bad, it's going to be a big deciding factor on how fast these things go up. Those go up, Antwerp follows suit, and depending on what you bought these capsules for, they're pretty expensive right now. If you need that cash, you have a guaranteed profit exit right now. And that's something people don't really realize when it comes to CSGO investing in just the game itself. Right now, you have a lot of profit. You could wake up in 2 weeks from something new coming out. You could by accidentally wait until the major. Those stickers look really good. They could go down. That's lost profit. Take it from my experience. I've had Krakow stickers. A lot of the capsules the past couple of years when they had their hypes, didn't decide to sell at those peaks. They ended up dropping down for almost 6 to 7 months. And I was left in the dumps with a lot of those for a very long time. Now that's just one example of many, but if you have an opportunity and you think you might need it, especially if you don't be playing the game anytime soon, I would take it. Now our next comment up here is from Neb, and it's more so of a thread, I shall say. He says, ask Mando, do you see yourself dropping a Jesus style video essay on CSGO anytime soon? And while I said, can you be more specific? He says, based on your content, you're an investing YouTuber. Do you see yourself making other CSGO content, like making essays on controversial topics? Really, ever since I hit 8,000 subscribers, I knew and I noticed if I talked about something, said something had potential without giving other options or reasons why or why not that might be good, it wouldn't by any means get manipulated on the market. Definitely had the opportunity to. With that, I also felt like the CSGO investing scene got heavily oversaturated with just random creators coming in. I mean, you see them come and go. You'll probably see 5 or 6 this next coming year. People will come in, either make one video every 4 months, one video every other month, 2 videos a year, and then never upload again. I just felt like too many people were talking about the same thing. So this past little while, one, I've been daily uploading, and I'm pretty proud and happy to say, I don't really want to toot my own horn here, but I feel like I'm one of the only people in CSGO right now that's uploading daily quality content with different topics. And that's what I've been doing. Trying to broaden my audience, but also my videos. Like the other day, we checked out CSGO skins, what they look like in AI, let them make it, talk to a chatbot to see when they think Source 2 is going to come out, and a bunch more. Checking out the best workshop submissions, best cheap knives series. That's been heavily successful for me. Mando Monday, of course. And just the one-off commentaries. Those are usually my favorite. Like the other day, why Katowice 2023 is not a major. But as it goes to the documentary style videos, I've made a couple in the past on CSGO Wild for an example. So to answer your question, yeah, we're kind of shifting towards that. I would like to say in the next couple of years, not fully on board. I'd like to always talk about the market because that's a main part of CS nowadays anyway. Now, our next question up here is from Juggernaut. He says, Mando, do you think the Ocean Drive will appreciate or depreciate in value in the near future? So this skin, if you guys are unfamiliar, is from the Operation Riptide collection, or specifically the Riptide case. Now, the Riptide case has been getting very expensive this past little while, I think for very good reason. The knives in it obviously are very rare. They look very good. Skins, not so much though. This in it though is one of the only, if not the only, good looking skin in that case. Also, it's a pretty good looking deagle. This past month really hasn't gone up too much. It's definitely really hard to see how it's been on the Steam market because, well, not many have been sold. It's very easy to buy up like 10 of these and then just sell them at a very high price and then drop it back down. But as it goes from when these things came out, you bought them back then, yeah, they've been performing pretty well. And if you want a decent, cheap play skins investment, especially for the deagle, that's not a Desert Eagle Blaze, not quite on the level of a Fennec Fox from the Mirage 2021 collection, this could be it for you. It's not going to go down anytime soon. The only thing that would stop it is, of course, oversaturation with skins. If we have another year like we did the past few years, where we see over 100 skins come out, we're most likely going to get 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 deagles. That would give this a run for its money. It's just going to delay this thing going up even more, of course, in that very short period of time. Same thing with the whole Paris and Stockholm 2021 situation. Our next question up here is from Punisher, and he says, any thoughts about the Rocks Hollow? So this is pretty controversial. I'm not a huge fan of this thing, despite me opening one at $100. Now, all jokes aside, I think it's a pretty good looking sticker. There's a reason it's this price. It's very unique to this major, especially the autograph. Now, is it overhyped? I would say a little bit, especially when it goes over that like $70 to $100 price point, but it's just supply and demand at that point. I mean, the past 4 months, you've had the opportunity to buy this at $25 to $40. Now it's pushing that $60 to $70, $80 mark when it does get price hype. Am I a fan for this sticker at $45, $50? Yeah. At 70 or 80, probably not. I would probably just go with a 9Z sticker at that point because, well, I think they look a little bit better. Also, there's some other stickers from this said team that I think that look very identical as well, if you're not counting the actual signature, but rather the hollow effects. Now, our next question up here is from the Camper, and he says, you should make a video about Source 2 and how it may affect the economy. For an example, how hollow effects and golds will look on Source 2. So I've actually talked about this in the past in Mando Mondays, and I believe its own commentary when all the rumors were going around in the summer of 2022, or more so data mines actually. Now there's a little bit of a rough estimate of what skins are going to look like. Things that are more pearlescent, they're going to really glow. The skin creation side of things definitely has a lot of potential as you're going from drawing on models, especially for weapons, to actually 3D models, which is a huge deal. As it goes for older items, I'm not 100% sure if they're going to update them for Source 2. I would imagine so. I mean, if you look at something like the Lightning Strike, for an example, on the Op, it looks extremely outdated on the maximum settings if you're playing at 4 or even 8K on a computer nowadays. In Source 2, when 4K becomes the norm in a few years, not that it already isn't for most people, for a lot of people anyway, I would say, I'm still in 1080, I think they're going to have to upgrade the models on that. Skins like that, maybe that look a little worse, if they get upgraded, could go up a lot. Now, that is a pretty big gamble, but if most people had to guess, including myself, with Source 2 releasing, it's going to bring a lot of hype to the game because everyone who's been playing since 2014 or even 2016 and 17 has known about it coming out and has just been waiting for its initial release. The same thing goes with holo effects and of course gold stickers. I think they will look probably a lot more shiny, which yeah, in theory would boost up the price. That's if people want to comply with the price increases on Source 2, if that makes any sense. Now our next question up here is from Tyrone, and he says, are Outsider stickers a good investment? I heard there's a rumor that might change back to Virtus Pro and change back the logo. Just a rumor, but if they did, that would mean the Outsider sticker would be extremely rare. Yes, but also no. So yes, at this point in time, it is a rumor. I would say there's probably no chance of them going back to VP, mainly because there's a lot of controversy surrounding them. Richard Lewis has a great article and a bunch of videos on this. I suggest you just go check it out. The reason being they wouldn't change is because there's too much controversy and problems surrounding Virtus Pro, the name itself, but that could be maybe for a video for a different time. If they did, looking at the quantity on the market of Rio, the only 2 majors these things have appeared in, yeah, they'd be pretty rare, especially for the transparent backgrounds. Now, just because something is rare doesn't mean you can set whatever price you want for it, and that's been a motto on the channel for a very long time. Outsiders and something even like Movie Star Riders for Stockholm 2021, though they are very rare and they're actually priced pretty high, I think they're some of the weakest stickers a part of both majors. Now, this is of course talking about the holos, not the glitters. I think glitters for Antwerp, as of right now anyway, have a lot of potential. They are growing quite a bit, and since they are more affordable, and for some they like these more than the holo effects, the holos and golds obviously would too, but I just don't think these look that great in game, especially because we have other purple teams like 9Z that just blow this out of the water, in my personal opinion. So that's my take, kind of controversial. Let me know what you guys think down below. Our next question, also common up here, is from Space Pickles, and he says, played against you on Mirage last night. I tried to keep it cool, but fanboyed pretty hard, especially in the team's comms. Hey, thanks, man. I actually do remember playing you. I replied in this comment saying, one, if you do play me in CS or I'm on your team, I don't really check chat a whole lot. I'm more focused on the comms and just playing the game unless I'm really messing around, but I really appreciate that, man. I think that made my night. He says, with that being said though, any thoughts on Rio being a decent investment? I know it's low in demand, but also low in supply, and they're still sitting at 28 cents on the Steam market. It seems promising, question mark. So Rio, this has been an extremely controversial thing really ever since they came out in the first place. I am one to not really like these things. I still don't right now, but have thrown a little bit more money than I did otherwise a few weeks ago into it recently. Reasons why? Well, one, it's income I can afford to lose, and also because it's really low in supply, not all the stickers are going to be really rare, but I do think there's a few solid ones here and there that I think have the potential to be huge. I'm not necessarily buying up any individual sticker, just more so the capsules, because it's hard to predict the stickers, especially for something like this major. Very risky to buy an individual sticker, at least at this point. As the reason it sits at 28 cents in the Steam market, Steam taxes, different countries have different taxes. You also have to play into a fact and also consider you watching this video in a week, these could be at 24 to 25 cents. These things are trade banned when you buy them. So if I buy a bunch, I can't list them on the Steam market immediately, which kind of sucks because, well, when that happens, when a hype does happen, especially if people buy them off the shop like this or buy them right before the sale ends, they can't list them for a week. So as soon as the sale's over, whenever that may be, you might see the quantity being 10 to 15,000 when realistically for some of these, it could be a little over 100. That's obviously a stretch, but you kind of get the point. Long story short, they have potential, but I'm not sure how I feel about them at this point. Now, our second to last question up here for today's video is from Fish, and he says, hi Luke, this is going to be a different type of comment than what you normally get. I'm trying to start a channel on CSGO investing just like yours. Do you perhaps have any advice you'd be willing to share? If not, I understand. Trade secret, love the vids. First off, thank you so much for the support, man. I really appreciate it. Also, welcome to the scene. This goes for you and, well, any people watching this video. I encourage you to make videos on CSGO if you've ever wanted to or are considering it. Number one, the main reason is CSGO is pretty much built by people in the community, and the reason it's here today, the player base it has, how much money is spent in the game, is from content creators. Not fully, but a lot of the reason is because of that. All the other Valve games that died, no one makes content on them anymore. And CSGO, like at the beginning of the video, is an evergreen game. It's probably going to last for at least the next 10 years and maybe forever. Now, the first piece of advice as of this goes, I've honestly redone this question like 50 times because I can't think of a few things that are just really solid, but I'll give you ones that I wish I learned from the very beginning. So I'll quickly give some backstory on myself. I've been making YouTube videos on and off for 10 years. Just the past 3, it's really been successful. Not to say that you can't have success maybe on your first video. I've seen a few people in the CSGO scene that are new to the scene recently. I believe Market Trends came in, made a bunch of videos on Stockholm stickers possibly being the next Katowice, really good investment, how people missed out on it, so on and so forth. But the first thing is, and this one really helped me, be unique and also be different, especially with the content you're making. Trust me, I know how hard it is to make original content in this day and age, especially for a game like CS, because you and I probably both know and feel, and this goes for any content creator, because the game is so old, because there's been so much content for this game uploaded to YouTube, every idea you probably have in your head is probably taken. That's why it's very important to be creative, make your own series. Dallas Bobby, for an example, made a sticker craft series and very rare stickers, certain weapons and different loadouts pros use. And I'm not saying to copy him or copy me, for an example, on a certain series that I have. Use ideas from other people, maybe make your own. You know, I like Star Wars, I like CSGO. One night at 3 a.m., I came up with the idea to wear a Mando helmet while making videos. It ended up working out pretty well. Not to gas myself up here, but I think it's also a big part of the reason why I grew so much in a very short period of time. It's because I stuck out from other people in the crowd, at least in the same basket for the CSGO investing scene. You're gonna have videos when you upload them that are not gonna be great. This also goes to another point. There are so many people that will put in thousands of dollars to a gaming setup, even hire editors to create logos, but yet they don't make any content. Your first 10, 15, 20, 100 videos maybe not be great, but at least you're getting something out. Later on, you can worry about quantity and quality control, but when you're first starting out a channel, you need to pump out videos. In this day and age, with the amount of resources you have online, people like me, you can ask all the different platforms, that being Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter, YouTube even, multi-streaming, get your stuff out to different platforms, so on and so forth. But I would say being different and making different content and just those one-off videos, those specifically always have the best potential to go viral. And I guess I'll quickly add on the end here, make sure you're in the game for the right reason. I see a lot of people come into the scene for maybe 5 or 6 months. They upload possibly almost daily videos. And at least from my point of view, they're probably in it just for the money and then they leave. Make sure you're in it not just for the money. Make sure you actually have a love for CSGO. You know, when there's no content like this as of right now, this past few months, this is the most creative someone like me and any content creator has to be. Now, to get clicks, that's not always the case. You could just say there's an operation coming every single week and you'll be good to go. But that's pretty much my best advice. If any other content creators are watching this video, feel free to leave any comments and tips and tricks down below. If you want a whole separate video on this, I'm more than happy to make one on that. Now, our last question up here for today's video is from NLS. He says, has anyone been having problems with Steam inventories the past few hours? My friend, I think you're very, very late to the party on this one. I'm kidding. So really all throughout time for CSGO inventories, trading, confirmations, Steam itself has been absolute garbage. The inventories with CSGO items have been horrible. They lag. The servers are really bad one day. Well, you're not gonna be able to trade anything probably for a few hours. The most recent notorious thing was there was a very big bug going around, and it's still going around. Made 2 videos on it because people wondered what the hell was going on. Anyway, if you have certain extensions on your computer, like float.db, even the buff extensions, they can time out your Steam inventory for 24 hours, and that stacks every time you do it. Now, to get around this, use a VPN, get rid of all the extensions, so on and so forth. It's a big pain. They're probably not going to change it anytime soon. It's been a problem ever since CSGO existed. Feel free to leave any comments down below, helping this guy out, and any questions for today's video. This might just be the lengthiest Mandal Monday I've ever done. At this point in time, we're at 65 minutes for this video. The second to last question for content creation, I spent probably 35 minutes on, and with that, I have 6 hours to get this video up before midnight. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, stay sexy. If you guys got any questions for next week, leave it down below. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.